going on, y'all? Hope you had an amazing day so far, and welcome back to the Underworld. Today we're going to be talking about the 12. This is just going to be a short little recap, so grab some snacks and let's go. Alright, Bungie immediately comes out swinging with some key art for the next season called Season of the Deep. You can see what I'm assuming is the new armor set in the season. It looks amazing in all classes. I don't know another way to describe it other than to say that we just look majestic floating in the water. So majestic that it almost completely distracts from the giant eye in the background. I'm wondering if that's the Leviathan we saw on Titan before the Witness ate it. And I know this is probably a stretch seeing that this place won't stay past the Lightfall year, but imagine if we could actually swim around this season. I think it would be really cool. Maybe we'll even get some Crucible themed water maps. I hugely doubt that, but you know, I can hope. Now, some of you new likes may be wondering, Ghost, how do you know this season's gonna be based on Titan? Well, the character in the bottom middle of the screen is a Titan NPC Sloan, who I am just now realizing is a Titan on Titan. If you look closely at Sloan's right arm, it looks like she's been in the early phases of being taken. This picture looks to have been taken in an underground facility, maybe even a submarine, because you can look around the sides of the window and it's like some type of boats area like you see on the side of a submarine or underground facility. Overall, I'm very excited to see this key art. Generally made me excited for the next season. I'm pretty sure that in my opinion, this looks like the best key art we've seen for a season. So once again, I'm excited. On to the new Strand aspects. First off, Hunter. Hunters are getting an aspect called Threaded Spectre. Activating your class ability with this aspect equipped leaves behind a decoy of Strand matter that draws the attention of the enemy combatants. After taking significant damage and when the combatants approach, the decoy detonates, dealing damage and releasing threadlings that seek out and attack nearby foes. This ability sounds really cool, and I can already imagine the amazing use cases that people are going to use in this aspect. I can't wait for the absolute maniacs to figure out how this can be used in the Crucible. On to Titans. The new Titan aspect is called Fletchic Storm. While sliding, activate your charged melee ability to leap into the air, knocking nearby enemies away and dealing damage. While airborne, activate your charged melee again to launch a cluster of damaging, unraveling projectiles. Repeatedly activating your melee will chain additional projectiles. Hopefully this isn't just another gimmick slide melee like Consecration and Howl of the Storm. These abilities look and sound really cool on paper, but usually get left in the dust because the other options are so good. My biggest worry is Strand Titan already feels amazing to use in all forms of PvE, from normal strikes to GM Nightfalls, so it's going to be kinda hard for a slide melee ability to be more worthwhile than the aspects we have now. Now finally, for the third and final aspect, the warlike aspect is called the Wanderer. Tangles you throw attach to enemies and detonate into a suspending burst. The threatening final blows create a tangle. This sounds like a really fun aspect for warlocks to play with, seeing that if done right, it sounds like it can be done infinitely. Bungie reiterated that there would be no light level increase next season, so there would be no power grind and you can jump right into next season stuff. They also gave some more information on the upcoming exotic focusing. To do a tier 1 focusing, you must own the associated expansion as well as every exotic armor in that class bundle. For example, if I wanted to focus an exotic armor piece for my Titan, I must own Forsaken as well as acquire all the armor from Forsaken before I'm able to focus. While tier 2 focusing only requires you to only have the armor piece you are trying to focus. Both these types of focusing are sadly still expensive. Some good news on the other hand, Bungie is making all exotic armor drop with higher stats with more individual stat spikes starting next season, saying that on average all exotics should drop with the stats in the mid 60s. Moving on, in Season 21, all complete activity challenges, aka playthrough Crucible matches for Pinnacle, etc., will be replaced with a powerful focusable exotic engram, giving players 3 to 9 free exotics per week that can be focused. You will also be able to get a focusable exotic engrams from World Drops, Season Pass, and Vendor level tracks. But with that, we will be losing some Pinnacle reward sources, so getting the 1810 will be slower for everyone if you haven't already reached it the current season. There will also be a new way to earn deep side weapons, aka red border weapons, coming next season by using the new deep side activation feature that uses a new currency called the deep side harmonizer. Deep side harmonizers will only be obtainable from the season pass, and you will get 3 from the free track and 3 from the paid track, so 6 in total per season. You can only hold 1 harmonizer in your inventory at a time. To turn a non-raid weapon into a deep side weapon, it will cost 1 deep side harmonizer, while raid weapons will cost 1 deep side harmonizer and 15 spoils of conquest. Not all weapons can be deep side activated though. You can't double dip on a deep side weapon that has already been deep sided previously. That includes weapons that you already used deep side activation on and red border weapons that were previously red border. Weapons purchased from the end of raid chest also cannot be deep side activated sadly, but weapons bought from the gunsmith and Xur are usable. Continuing our talk about weapon crafting, it will no longer cost legendary shards to craft a weapon, but I believe enhancing perks will still cost shards. I am not 100% sure about this because the wording is weird. I understand right now that the deep sight activation feature is just a test, but even with that being said, I don't think 6 deep sights per season is enough, especially for your free-to-play players that only get 3 deep sights a season. 3 deep sights per season isn't even enough to unlock a weapon that you might have missed. So you're telling me, as a free-to-play player, if a weapon comes out and it's extremely strong and it happens to be a cracked recipe, I have to wait 2 seasons to be able to get that weapon? I don't think that's fair, and I hope they add some more down the line, or at least a way to get more if need be. They can make it as hard or as easy as they want. Just give us something, because 3 deep sights or 6 deep sights a season is not enough. Raid challenges are now getting the same treatment as dungeons, meaning doing more challenges and triumphs will give you a better chance at the exotic dropping for you. This is an amazing change, and I still know people who have done Vault of Glass for ages and still don't have Vex. Hell, I still don't have a collective obligation, so I'm going to be jumping into these raids, hoping I get the exotics I want. Now it's time to clear up some of that inventory space, because Finest Matter Weave and Rainmakers are being deprecated. Finest Matter Weave will give 1 enhancement core, and Rainmakers will give 3,000 glimmer each time any one of them want to drop for you or you dismantle them. Now, sadly, getting into some bad news, I have something to say about the next thing Bungie talks about in this TWAB. Bungie is increasing the price of the season's pass. I think this is incredibly stupid, seeing that we have been getting less and less story every season. The current season we're on right now, season 20, ended after 5 weeks of story, and this is also one of the buggiest seasons we've seen yet. Now, if they have to increase the price to make sure that we get better content, then so be it, I guess. But if they increase this price and we're still getting the same old issues of short stories, buggy seasons, and season stories that don't make sense, I think this information hurts more, because this season has not been a good season story-wise. Most people don't like it, but if this information came out last season, before Lightfall season of the Seraph, where that story was actually pretty good, I think less people would be mad, because the story was good, everything was pretty good, and it would soften the blow that we got to pay an extra $2. The main reason people are upset though is because there's no way to just buy 1,200 silver. You have to either buy 2,000 silver for $20, or 1,000 silver for $10, and 500 silver for $5, for $15 altogether. And eventually you're gonna have to do that type of purchase again next season. Now, I still don't understand why Destiny 2 is an incredibly successful game and still chooses to be different when it comes to the battle pass system, by not including the premium currency, in this case silver, in the battle pass to ensure returning players only have to buy the battle pass once. I think if they're going to go through with this price change, they should at least do that, or add an option to buy 1,200 silver, preferably the former. Because having to spend $20 or $15 on this game when you already charging us $20 for a dungeon pass, $40 to $50 for an expansion, on top of the optional $10 that you can spend on the event pass when a seasonal event comes around. Now, I know inflation is hitting everyone, and I understand that stuff needs to get more expensive so they can hire more people. But the fact that you're doing this, but also not increasing the price of the deluxe edition of Lightfall and other games down the line, at least I hope you don't, it seems like you're really trying to push people to buy the $100 edition of the expansion, which most people can't in their rightful mind do, because it's $100 per year. Great, and if you're working, you can make more than $100 a year, but most people don't want to put the time sake of forking over $100 knowing that they just paid content that they might not play and or enjoy. These past couple of years since Witch Queen has really shown us that Bungie is getting more and more money hungry, which is crazy after they just got that deal with Sony. Lastly, we're going to speed through this new trial information. We're getting a new Ghost Shell, a new ship, a new Sparrow, and a new shader for going flawless in Season 21. The shader will change every season, so if you want it, make sure you go flawless at least once before the season ends. The Inquisitor shotgun and the Whistler's Whim bow will be left in Loophole and are being replaced by the Messenger Pulse rifle and the unexpected resurgence are Glaive. The new game mode for Trials of Osiris will be Dominion, aka Zone Capture. There's also a new emblem for going flawless and never trailing in a game, basically stopping every team on your way to the lighthouse. Alright, that's everything. What are your thoughts on everything coming in the next season? What are your thoughts about Season 2 Deep? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I hope you're having an amazing rest of your day. Peace.